they eat each other and they just get put in a big pen.
Yeah.
This is some sort of terrible thing. So he's trying to keep his daughter from that happening to her, and then the movie ends.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically a metaphor for coming to terms with a person, and that's a loved one that has some sort of disease.
It's a disease. Yeah, learning to let go.
Yeah, it's more of a drama than a horror film. And I don't know.
But boy, is it depressing.
Yeah, not a lot happens in it. I thought it was kind of dull for the most part. But I liked Schwarzenegger in it. I think it's more like, it's almost like the Stallone thing. Like, now that they're old, they just, like, you look at their face and you just see all this history on their face. And so seeing him try to act sad, I think I don't know. For me, it informed that character more than just a generic actor in that part. I think you saw this movie as well, but I saw Welcome to Me, starring Kristen Wiig. Have you seen this film?
I have, and I rather enjoyed it.
I liked it a lot, too. I think it's a really solid comedy premise, which, for anyone that isn't familiar with this movie, she is, what is her issue? She's mentally unstable.
Yeah.
But Kristen Wiig's character is mentally unstable, to say the least, and she wins the lottery. And she uses her newfound money to create her own television show and pay a company to produce her show. So it's a person with mental problems with their own talk show. It's funny, but it's not like wacky funny. Like, there's a week, like, because she has a history. She used to be a veterinarian, so there's like a montage of a week's worth of episodes where every day she's just neutering dogs.
Yeah, the company is run by James Marsden, I believe, and who else?
Joan Cusack.
Yeah. And they're selling like weight loss pills, or it's some sort of like infomercial.
One of those cheapo infomercials.
Yeah, and they have their own network or their own TV station.
Yeah.
And she comes in and starts flashing money around. They're like, okay, the diet pills, we're not selling them very well, if that's what it is. It's something like that. Yeah. But and they're like, oh, okay. And they're like, is this ethically correct to let a crazy person run their show just because she's giving her money? And they're like,
but they need the monies.
Yeah, and so there's that conflict there, but at first it was like annoying. The first act of the movie was annoying to me, and then it started getting really weird, and then it started becoming really fun.
Yeah, well, she just has all these like bizarre ideas and bizarre like requests for things she wants. And everyone is just like letting her have it because she's giving the money. I just thought it was like a solid premise for a weird comedy.
Oh, and I want to come in on a swan boat.
You're off your meds, you're living in a reservation casino, and you're hosting your own talk show.
It's a new era. $86 million Alice.
We go live in 5, 4, 3. What is she doing?
No, I think she's a little frozen.
You're on TV now.
Anyway, she has a therapist, and then, very interesting character. And it's not like goofy funny. It's not like the hints of UHF in there a little.
Oh, sure.
but not like that's a polar opposite.
Well, that's like a goofy Zucker Brothers type comedy, but as far as like someone who shouldn't be running a television station,
it's more like
here's the content they're producing.
Very strange, awkward humor.
Yeah, and I like that Kristen Wiig, like Bridesmaids was like a huge movie, and she could have gone the Melissa McCarthy route and just done all these big broad comedies, and she's kind of went the other way, and she's done all these little interesting.
She's done a lot of smaller films, smaller dramatic roles, and now she's in The Martian too.
And welcome to me. Welcome to me. Welcome to me. Me. And welcome to me.
Well, we both saw Welcome to Me. I would recommend that. What else? Have you seen anything you disliked? Horribly.
I saw The Cobbler.
Oh my God, Adam Sandler in the house. On the mountain.
This is one I saw completely just out of morbid curiosity, which is always a bad idea. I just saw the Poltergeist remake for the same reason.
I saw that in the theater.
Oh my God.
That is a funny film.
We'll get to the Poltergeist remake, but I saw The Cobbler because it was on Netflix. I was like, all right, people are saying this is the worst thing ever. I've seen Adam Sandler movies. I know what the worst thing ever is. This can't be that bad because this is made by a real filmmaker. The guy who did it did The Station Agent with Peter Dinklage, which is a great little movie, and he did The Visit with Richard Jenkins. So it's like, oh, this guy's made some interesting, character-driven dramas. The Cobbler is one of the worst Adam Sandler movies I've ever seen. It's unbelievable. It's so wrong-headed. It's so, like, what were they thinking kind of premise? Or do you even know what the premise of the movie is?
He makes shoes.
He's a cobbler in New York, and he finds it was his dad's business, and now it's his business, and he finds this magical cobbler machine in the basement of the store that when he repairs somebody's shoes on it, and he puts on those shoes, he turns into that person. So
spiritually or physically?
Physically. So, like, if he's wearing the shoes to other people, he looks like whoever the owner of the shoes is.
Okay.
So he uses that to. There's a guy that always comes into his store who has this beautiful wife, and that guy drops off his shoes. So Adam Sandler cobbles his shoes so he looks like the husband, and then goes into their house while the woman is taking a shower and is ready to have sex with her, which is basically rape. Not basically. Like,
oh, they do have sex? Or
no, the only thing preventing him from doing so is the fact that he would have to take off his shoes to get into the shower. So if it wasn't for that, our hero would have raped a woman. And yeah, so that happens. There's a twist at the end of the movie that is the dumbest thing possible, which I'm going to spoil, because why not? The whole thing is like, oh, my dad left, so I don't know what, he just abandoned me when I was a kid. That's Adam Sandler's character. And through the whole movie, the next door neighbor, the guy who owns the barber shop next door, is Steve Buscemi. And that's like his friend, Steve Buscemi. That's who he confides in. Turns out, Steve Buscemi is his dad, who's been wearing the cobbler boots for decades.
That makes me want to kill myself.
It's the worst thing. It's almost worth seeing just for how awful it is. It's almost mind-bogglingly bad.
Wow. Well, mind-bogglingly bad and Adam Sandler is often paired together in sentences. So.
I would say no. Most of his movies are just bad, where they're just so like dumb and crass. This one is fascinatingly bad.
Okay.
Well, it feels like it could be one of those, like, to walk a mile in someone else's shoes, like some sort of morality thing, but that it's not. It's just Adam Sandler wearing other people's shoes and doing goofy things. And the other thing he does is, because he lives with his mom, and the mom's like, oh, I miss my husband. If I could only see him for one more day. So Adam Sandler puts on his dad's shoes and has a nice romantic evening with his mom.
Holy fuck, that's weird. But his dad was still alive.
But his dad was still alive, and he was disguised as Steve Buscemi next door at the barber shop the entire time.
Why wouldn't his dad... Was he trying to escape from his mother?
No. There was some sort of explanation. I don't know. I was too, flabbergasted to pay attention to the exposition at that point. But
Why would you want to be Steve Buscemi?
Hey, mister, you okay? Don't eat me! Please, don't eat me!
I'm not gonna eat you!
Well, I'm going to do this next one real fast. Just recently, I saw Black Mass, starring Johnny Depp.
Oh, you saw that?
And Friends. A solid film.
Okay.
A solid gangster movie. It's no Goodfellas. Nothing will ever be. But it's good.
In the beginning, Jim was a small-town player. He's a very smart, disciplined man. Take your shot, but make it your best. Because I get up, I eat you.
He's a low-time gangster, and he becomes big-time, but he's an informant for the FBI for years and years and years because his buddy's in the FBI. It's this whole criminal ring. There's a bunch of murders and backstabbing and some gruesome scenes, some really good performances. A little unfocused on the storyline, but...
How is Johnny Depp in it? Because he hasn't, given a real performance in forever.
He's good. Okay. He's really good. The only thing is that, for some reason, he had to look like the guy in real life. So he has, like a bald cap on and, Dr. Evil blue eyes, contact lenses that are really obviously blue contact lenses.
Okay.
So it's very distracting.
He's unrecognizable. I had a scene with him where his face is inches from mine, and there is no sense of another person being behind those eyes, that hair, those teeth, those scars. He's amazing.
Just Does he have to look exactly like them?
Doing the transformation thing is more distracting than if he just
If he was just himself, yeah. Because I'm sitting there looking at his hairline and his bald cap, and like, there's the makeup scene.